Kathleen, who is Patrick's grandmother. Beautiful Kathleen over there. Paddy. Patrick's and the gorgeous Margaret, Patrick's mother. Mr. Patrick O'Leary. Thank you so much. It cost me a lot. Gorgeous bride, my daughter, Gemma. Jones. Maxine, my beautiful wife. Dorothy, Gemma's grandmother. I'm actually not a person that's usually speechless, but I am finding this very difficult because of all the effort that you guys have made to be here with Patrick and Gemma on their special day. You are amazing. It is absolutely fantastic that you've made this effort to be with them. And on behalf of Margaret, Maxine, Gemma and Patrick, thank you so much. It is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And we've got all our new Irish family here. Our Irish family from England. The Welsh are here. The Welshies are here. Where's Blair with his kilt? Scots are here. And of course we got all our English families here. Thank you. And we've got the Kingsley girls. These are all the friends who Gemma and Sophie, our other daughter, went to school with, and that's fantastic. I've actually got to pick one person out for making a little bit more of an effort. Well, you all made wonderful efforts, actually, because we've got Sean, who's coming from Canada. Begsy, your maitre d' over here, has come from Dubai. Nicole's come from, was it Germany? Oh, Germany. Oh, Denmark, sorry. You love Germany?
That's what I said. Where are you from?
This guy left, I think it was about 10 days ago, actually. I come from Conway in North Wales, which, if you're an older Irish person, you went through Conway when you went on to the ferry at Holyhead. Now you go underneath it. And this guy got in his camper van by himself, I think about 8 or 9, 10 days ago. And he's come through Wales, he's driven by himself in his camper van. He's driven all the way through England, got the ferry across, all the way down France, all the way through Spain, and he's then come over to Portugal. And that is my brother-in-law, Hayden. Where are you? Thank you so much. I just want to take a couple of minutes now to think about the people who are not with us in body today, but they're with us in spirit. Gemma's grandfather, Peter, our lovely sister, Christine, our lovely, well, my dear old friend, Chris Adams, who passed away, sorry, it's a bit difficult, in March this year. And his wife Sylvie is with us. And he was a great party goer, and he'd kept up with you Irish, I think. And he's up there now thinking, have an absolutely great party. Margaret's mum, dad, as well. They're with us. And a guy I've said before I would have loved to have met, Patrick's father, Frank Senior. You know, I would have loved to have met that man. And he's up there now. He's so proud of you. You know, Sarah, Frank, and Patrick, and the way Margaret's brought you up. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not giving my class the breakfast because we'll shuffle him. You want to hear his story later on. It's a lovely story. And I'd like to also to thank our new Irish family for taking Gemma into their fold. We we thank you so much. You've made her so welcome, and she does appreciate it. And we hope that Pat, I hope you appreciate that Pat now is part of our family, because we love him dearly. You've actually stunned me. I'm not usually speechless. I'm getting that way now, but you've absolutely stunned me by being here. And there was only, I think, 3 times in my life I've ever been stunned. And the first was, it all happened in September. It was 31 years ago, and I was waiting for a car to arrive. And I was standing there talking to somebody, and this car arrived behind me, and I turned round, and she walked out. Maxine, on our wedding day, she just walked out and she stunned me. She took my breath away. And 2 years ago in September, Sophie, our daughter here, Gemma's sister, she was upstairs, and you know, guys, never get in a house with women getting married. There's makeup artists, there's hairdressers, there's bridesmaids, they're drinking, they're talking. So I went outside and sat at the back of the house on a little bench, and I just sat there, just calming down. And I heard all the cars leaving, so I ran round the front of the house, and I stood in the hall, and I was looking down to watch all the cars go away, and I heard this noise behind me, and I turned round. She stunned me. Second time I was stunned was my daughter Sophie walking down in her bride's dress 2 years ago in September when you got married. Absolutely beautiful. And the third time was today. I was on this little landing. You passed me, didn't you? Oh, by the way, with these fantastic cufflinks. The Welsh Dragon. And the guys passed me that you just got into your suits, hadn't you? And I've got to tell everybody this actually, because I told 1 or 2 people. I was getting warmer and warmer in my suit, and I was going around the hotel trying to find a cool place, the coolest place in the hotel. So I went down into reception, and the coolest place in Sheraton Hotel is the men's toilets. So guys, if you want to have a cool place, but don't go in there too often. Because I went in there 3 times and they were all looking at me. And anyway, I was called Lizzie. Lizzie called me up and said, come, you've got to walk down now with Gemma. And they've got this 2-bedroom apartment in the hotel. And she walked downstairs, stunning, absolutely stunning, and what a beautiful, beautiful bride she is. Yeah. So she took my heart away, and the third and last time I'll ever be stunned. Absolute. I was in tears, wasn't I? We were trying to take these photographs, and I'm Welsh. November the 1st, 2012, we were with some friends, Martin and Viv Cooper. Yeah. And we were in an Italian restaurant waiting to go into the Belgrade Theatre in Coventry to watch Soul Sister, which was the musical thing of Tina Turner. And we were waiting for our meal, we had a glass of wine, as you do. And Vivienne said to me, she said, come on, Max, come on, be honest with me. She was a teacher. He's a teacher. Be honest, what do you really think of Pat? What do you really think of Patrick? She did? Is that
That's
true?
fighting talk.
Did you say that? What do you really think? I'm one of your oldest best friends, tell me. She said. So I said, well, I can't answer that. It's a very difficult question. Why? She said. Don't you like him? And I said, no. I said it was... Are you paying for this? I'll go off in a minute. So I said, it's a 2-part question. It's a very difficult question. I said, because do I like Pat as a person? Would I like his company? Would I like to go and have a drink with him? Would I like to watch a Wales-Ireland rugby match? I said, yes, of course, if we won. But he is great company, and he's lovely, and he's easy to talk to. So the answer to the first part of the question is yes, I love to be with Pat. He's a lovely guy. And she said, well, what's the second part of this? I said, it's more complex, I said. The thing is that September the 30th, 1983, Gemma was born, £5 4 ounces, 2 bags of sugar. She was almost 2 bags, oh, just over, isn't it? 2 bags of sugar. And Maxine, I was there at the birth, and Maxine gave Gemma to me. And you know how girls are, Frank, which end you hold, you know. And you hold it like this, and you're supposed to hold their neck up, because they flop, don't they? They flop. So I was like that, and I think I pulled her to me too hard. And her eyes open, and these big, blue, beautiful eyes open. And then that father-daughter bond develops. And without being disrespectful to all the ladies here, it is something that I cannot really explain. And it's a closeness and it's a security. And when she first walked and she ran across the room to me, and she ran into my arms and she gave me the biggest hug and that closest hug and that secure hug that fathers and daughters have. And when she was going to school and she was in a little grey hat and a plaid skirt, and a blonde
Daddy's a
hair.
dead man.
And she came up, she didn't want to leave me because she held my hand. And wherever we went, she wanted to be with me and held my hand. I wanted that security and bond that you build up. And even in the terrible teens, we've had the terrible teens, haven't we? So what's the number? Talking about this earlier on. Where, you know, you take them down to Leamington and you've got to drop them 200 yards away from where they're going. If you're walking down the street, it's the other side of the street, isn't it? So what I used to do was I used to drive right where she went, drop her right in front of her friends. Didn't I? You did as well. And we got through that, didn't we? We got... What are you talking?
Kevin.
I embarrass you.
Kevin.
Kevin. And we went through those years. And then she went to musical theatre school in London. And the first time she went away from the first time that she went away from the security of us, we were worried. And she rang me up actually. When the bombings went off in London, she went off and said, Dad, we were just trying to get into London and we can't get along the tubes. I said, oh my God, you know. And, it does, and we sleepless nights, and then she went on the ship to do the musical theatre on the ship, and she was talking about 30-foot waves coming over, and we had the tsunami, and you can't sleep, you know, you've got your children, you know, it's still there, that bond there, that security. So the second, long-winded this, the second part of this question is, what do I think of Patrick? Now, I've got to give that bond, part of that bond up now, that fatherly thing, that security to Pat. And it's not easy. That is not easy to do. When you've been there, you've been the security, you've been the pillar, you've been there for her for 30 years. She's 30, by the way.
Not yet.
Thanks, Anne. In September. And it is a difficult thing. I have no compunction at all in saying I'm happy, more than happy, that Pat is taking that role. He's a lovely guy. He absolutely adores it. Absolutely adores it. He will look after her. He will care for her. I will feel lonely, but there we go. Got to move on. She's grown up to be an absolutely beautiful, beautiful girl. And they are hot and cold, these two. They are light and shade. They are excitement and calm. They are what they call yin and yang. Two wonderful individual people who will grow to be a wonderful, wonderful couple. And that's me done. So I'd like you to please Would you please join me in a drink for the wonderful, wonderful life? Please get that. Please get that going. Wonderful, wonderful life, Mr. Patrick and Mrs. Gemma O'Leary.
Patrick and Gemma!
Yay!